Someone's got a delicious meal, Pete. They cooked it last night. They put it in the microwave. Here he goes. Rob Edwards is just heating things up.
If you were to hand out the Andrew Gaze Trophy, at this point, it would go to PJC.
Final minute of the game. Edwards from deep.
Rob Edwards is fired up.
The thievery. And Jackson Cartwright, too quick, too good.
Saturday hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL hits far north Queensland as the Cairns Taipans take on the New Zealand Breakers. Cairns have lost their last 7. New Zealand come in 6-3. Both of these teams hoping to take a win into the FIBA window. There is our Kmart by Game Time ball delivery. Levi Thorne meeting a couple of the stars in Deshaun Taylor and Dylan Stith. We thank Kmart for their support of the Game Time program in schools. Joel Peterson, Liam Santa Maria with you. Ariana Prather is courtside. And Mitsubishi Motors ladder at his 2nd and 10th. But this time last week, New Zealand lost to the bottom side. A very special welcome as well to a new member of our broadcast team, international basketball star Beck Allen. Beck, welcome.
Thank you. I'm pretty excited to be here. It's a different kind of adrenaline rush being on this side of the court.
It's very nice to have you here. One of my absolute favourite players in the WNBL to call back in the day, Liam. So great to have her working with us this evening. Hey, this game this evening is a really interesting one in the sense that Cairns have got some bodies back. They're getting healthy. It's been a struggle for them recently, Liam, but they're finally starting to get some players together.
Yeah, I mean, 7 losses in a row, Joel. I mean, it's been a big struggle. 3 wins and 8 losses for the season. They've used 9 different starting lineups over the course of the year so far. Tonight will be 10. But as you say, 2 really important pieces back in the lineup. Taron Armstrong last week, he came back from his injury, and Rob Edwards back from suspension. This is just the 3rd time all season these 2 starting guards are going to be on the floor together for the Taipans, and they've really missed having that combination. With them in the lineup together, they're undefeated. They're 2-0, like they got those wins earlier in the year. And without having both of them on the floor, it's been a heck of a struggle. So exciting to see those 2 share the floor again tonight.
Yeah, and Armstrong being out there makes Rob Edwards' life a lot easier too. He can just worry about scoring the ball, which is what he does well. The New Zealand Breakers, well, they've had a turbulent week. There's some really interesting news swirling around them and surrounding this man, Freddie Gillespie. For the latest on that, let's welcome Ariana Prather.
That's right. Rumors has it that Freddie Gillespie and Olympia Milano have agreed to join forces, and that announcement could come as early as next week. Now, we did reach out to New Zealand for comments, and they said, listen, we're aware of the reports, but they're just speculative, and as for right now and tonight's matchup, he is a part of our team. Now, if you look at his stats, you might be a little underwhelmed, but I can tell you that his presence will be felt in the paint and will be missed if these rumors are true.
Absolutely, they will. Beck, you've played a lot of basketball internationally. Is this an unusual situation?
Look, I would say here in Australia it is unusual. You don't see these sort of moves as frequently, but when you look internationally, this sort of stuff does tend to happen. You find if players think they have a bit better fit somewhere else, teams might feel the same way. So ultimately, people are looking after themselves. But it does bring me to the question, you know, within sport, does loyalty exist? I'm a believer that it doesn't. Others may not believe what I have to say there, but I just hope that it ends up being a good situation for both the teams and the players.
Yeah, let's hope so, because when he's been at his best and when he's been able to find his feet, Freddie Gillespie had a slow start to the season, but he's been dynamic, as we saw a couple of weeks ago against the 36ers, Liam.
He's been good for him, hasn't he? Leads the league in blocks, and man, he was huge in that game against Adelaide. You play a guy like Montrezl Harrell, you want to have a big body like Freddie Gillespie. He had 13 points, 7 boards, 5 block shots in that huge win. They nearly won by 30 that night. So he's been really good for him, but you're right, Beck. Look, this is the business. It's the business from the club's perspective. It's the business from his perspective. Everybody's got to do what they've got to do.
That they do, and for Coach Predatory Competent of the New Zealand Breakers, he's got a little bit of a task on his hand just to navigate these waters at the moment.
He does, but right now I think he just needs to focus on the now, which is this game, and then hopefully for them they get that win leading into that FIBA break, and that's when they'll probably start tweaking a few things and filling in the holes.
So our starting lineups, the Cairns Taipans, a 10th different lineup of the season, Liam, in just 12 games.
Yeah, but this is what, more like what they want, right? Tanner Groves and Rob Edwards back, the imports. They're still missing Pedro Bradshaw, of course. So Alex Higgins-Titcher and AK Gak return to the bench.
And for the New Zealand Breakers, Grant Anticevic replaces Jonah Boulder in the starting lineup, and the MVP be the clubhouse leader at the moment, Beck, Parker Jackson Cartwright.
Absolutely. He's scoring 20 points a game, 7 assists a game. He's really that leader out on the court. So he's that facilitator, loves playing in the open court as well. So you're really going to have to focus on slowing him down if you're Cairns.
This time last week, New Zealand lost to the bottom team. That was Tassie. Tonight it's the Taipans. Can Cairns at home spring another upset result in this NBL 25 season? Underway in the Snake Pit. First of a Saturday night doubleheader. What a doubleheader it is as well. Rob Edwards trying to make his presence felt. Both of these teams in their Indigenous rounds jerseys as well. Sam Menenga against his former team. Lopez on clean-up duty.
Doing a good job on the offensive glass, Lopez. Now, hold on, is he rocking the headband tonight?
He is.
Okay, wow.
It's a subtle headband, though.
It's hidden in there, Joel. It's deep within.
Wardenberg underneath, blocked by Menenga, the big man's first block of the season. A bit of Sam-on-Sam crime to start us off. Mooney up top, surveying. Menenga whips it to Anticevic, who's been shooting it really well. 40+%, he gets one to go.
See, this is what I really like. They play with this 0.5-second basketball. They're moving the ball. They're finding the open player. It's that drive and kick, simple basketball.
Foot on the line. Mooney playing the passing lanes. He does that really well. Past Wardenberg, reverse layup. No good. Fast start for both teams. And Jackson Cartwright with a straight strip. Lopez has it blocked.
A wild couple of possessions. That was out-and-out thievery from Jackson Cartwright in transition, and then Jonah Antonio gets a rare rejection.
So 2 minutes in, home team yet to score. Antonio from outside.
We really need him to be making shots like this. They sort of live and die out on that three-point line. So for him to hit that shot early is a good confidence booster.
40% of their scoring this season coming from that method. And Jonah Antonio had a wild old time of it in Melbourne last Sunday. 2 of 10 from outside, fouled out of the game. He got ejected as Anticevic, that time it was a 3. His earlier shot along 2.
A couple of snipers trading blows. Anticevic, that's what he's out there for, as Edwards slices his way to the cup. Top 10 in scoring. Exciting for the Taipans to have him back in the lineup.
And that combination of he and Armstrong. Armstrong's sort of the ultimate setup guy. Edwards the ultimate finisher. Lopez cans the jump shot. Foul was underneath. Ken Widgeon says, count the points.
Lopez, you see on the replay here, he's in his shooting motion as the foul occurs with Menenga. Soft whistle in the end. Edwards picks up the personal and the bucket counts for the Breakers.
There is that headband. That's very retro.
It is, isn't it?
It's got some real 70s vibes.
He's hitting Heritage Round a little early.
Yeah. He would have been about -30 in the 70s. Karim Lopez. Look at the spin move and the slam.
Yes, please.
He knew you were talking about him.
Karim Lopez.
Well, here it is on the Amy replay. But wide open underneath, spinning and winning at the cup. Emphatic finish from Lopez as he gets upstairs.
And bounces it off the bonds as well on the way down. So a great start for the visitors, 11-5. We spoke about the reinforcements for the Cairns Taipans, and Adam Ford caught up with Ariana pre-game to chat about just that.
Now, you said one of the things that your team has struggled with is guys trying to do too much. How do you get back to just playing team basketball in that structure that you're talking about?
Yeah, hopefully now that we've got the pieces back, you know, the job description's clear with Taryn and the job description's clear with Rob. And so with guys in and out of the lineup, you know, we try and step outside of our boundary a little bit. But now that everybody's back, everybody can look to excel and do what they do well, and hopefully stay in their lane.
And hopefully Sam Wardenberg can stay on fire. How good has he been?
Yeah, and the good thing is with Tanner back, it's going to help free him up. So it's not like Tanner's going to eat into Wardenberg's minutes or the shots that he gets. They complement each other. So we want to keep rolling with his momentum, and hopefully now with Tanner, with no minutes restrictions on him, that should only look to free him up some more.
So some good news for Adam Ford as far as availability goes. This man back out there returning from suspension, wasting no time filling it up.
Well, this is what they need. 19 points a game. As I said, top 10 in the league in scoring. And that's what he means staying in his lane. He is out there to get buckets. Don't need to run the point guard spot. Taran Armstrong's got that covered, and everyone can play to their strengths.
Mooney making moves. Got the big man up in the air, and he was fouled on the way through. And Rob Edwards is writhing around on the ground like a snake. He's taken a whack to the chops.
It was an awkward moment. He tries to swipe in, and Mooney at the top of his head connects underneath, and Adam Ford's just thinking, you've got to be kidding.
Pray for his teeth at this moment, right?
Saw Sam Wardenberg exit the game early last week after a head knock. Good to see him back out there too, Wardenberg. His concussion issues, there's some question marks around that. So it's going to be a couple of free throws for Matt Mooney. Been terrific this season, Mooney. A little bit up and down, shooting 90% from the free throw line. Cairns the first. His good's been very good. He's had a few games where those turnovers have crept in, though.
Including last week. He's coming off the quiet one in that game against Tasmania. Couldn't get going. Became the enemy of that Ant Army crowd down at My State Bank Arena. Was hearing the boos, and he'll be looking to bounce back from what was a quiet performance.
Absolutely he will. He checks out of the game. 5-point lead to the Breakers. Let's go courtside to Ariana.
Well, I was in that last huddle where Coach Ford told his team to just stick to their game plan and remember what they talked about. He said, take a deep breath. We're good. We're good. He just said that over and over again. And you guys mentioned it pregame. When Edwards and Taran Armstrong are on the court together, great things happen.
They look a different team, Ariana. Absolutely. And he's a big part of the reason why.
He really plays with a level of patience, doesn't he? He reads his defender. He plays off their mistakes. So I really like the poise that he plays with.
Is he the type of player you'd like to play with in terms of having a point guard back?
I mean, especially with his height. You think about that mismatch that he's even got today. I would love to see him post up.
Get to that, it could be a real weapon. Sean Bairstow into the game for New Zealand with some early minutes. Tanner Groves making his moves.
He got him at the last moment there, Anticevich. Geez, he did a good job there for a hot little moment, holding his ground as Tanner Groves went to work. There's the kick, and man, talk about good things happening. Good things happen for Taran Armstrong when he's knocking the three ball down. Because now you've got to respect him from long range. He has that quick first step. He's so crafty off the bounce, and it opens up his game.
7 of 13 on the season. On a try another. No good that time, staying at 50%. Gillespie out there for New Zealand. Look at him charging down the floor. Lopez in company, dishes it out to Menenga, who splashes it in.
Gosh, when you've got a centre like that who can shoot the ball, it changes the game. It means that as a defender, you can't clog the key. You have to stay out. It creates space for them.
Both of these teams have got exactly that out there at the moment, because we know that this man can shoot it as well. Edwards firing away. Jackson Cartwright the rebounds. Joel Peterson, Beck Allen, Liam Santamaria with you. Ariana Prey, the courtside first of a Saturday night doubleheader. Breakers by 5. Jackson Cartwright at the elbow. Bit strong. Falls to Bairstow. Groves from behind. Stays a Breakers ball. 5 on the shot clock. Bairstow snaking his way inside. Gillespie blocked at the rim and then gave it away.
Well, clever foul from Menenga in the end. Gets away with the professional foul. Bairstow was in the right spot at the right time, but Groves sent him away. The rim sent Gillespie away. And then the Taipans come up with it.
Armstrong, Edwards, Antonio, Wardenberg, Groves out there for the Snakes. Lopez, Bairstow, Menenga, Jackson, Cartwright, Gillespie. Groves inside, gets it to go off the feed.
That was a hell of a dime. Armstrong threads the needle, finds the big man underneath.
Jackson, Cartwright scooting inside. Taylor out there for Cairns as well now.
You're talking about styles of point guards. Parker Jackson Cartwright, obviously a scoring point guard, also leads the league in assists, so knows how to set his teammates up. Taron Armstrong, very much that pass-first kind of guy. Who's been your favourite point guard, Beck, to play with over the years? Whether it's in the WNBA, whether it's for the Opals, who sits at the top?
You're putting me on the spot here, aren't you? Really putting me on the spot. I think Leilani Mitchell was a really good one that I played with the Australian team. She was just someone that kept a sense of calm. I don't think people realise how valuable that is as a skill, is to keep, you know, your other 4 teammates on the court at the same time calm.
That's what Joel does for all of us.
He does, he does.
I can't shoot it like Leilani could, though. My word, could she stroke the thing. Hit some massive threes in her time in the WNBL and throughout international basketball. Absolute star. Wardenberg going at Menenga. Falling away and getting another 2 to go, keeping this one close in the early going.
Fun matchup. A couple of Kiwis, former Cairns Taipans teammates from last season going head-to-head.
Wardenberg 24, Menenga 22, both out of Auckland. Both part of that Tall Black squad for the upcoming FIBA window as well. Teammates, of course, last season, as you say. It's going to stay a Snakes ball.
The Taipans have done a good job to settle here. That early timeout from Adam Ford, as we heard from Ariana, just encouraging everybody in the squad. Don't get too flustered. Little Leilani Mitchell style. Everybody stay calm. And they've worked their way back into this thing.
Adam Ford issuing some feedback to the referees. AK Gack out there now. It's going to go back a Breakers ball.
You really see a change in the spacing for the Cairns Taipans now, having players like Rob Edwards back in the mix. You've got Taron Armstrong. I think it just creates a different spacing. The ball's not always in one person's hands. It's been a really healthy, balanced style tonight.
Great to have the inside of Beck Allen, part of our commentary team. Saturday Night Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Mitch McCarron getting some run for the New Zealand Breakers as Bairstow makes a really nice move to the cup.
He's been playing well recently, Sean Bairstow. Been playing 20-plus minutes a game over their past 4 or 5 and having a really good contribution.
Gack underneath. He gets fouled by McCarron. No start this evening for AK, but he's out in the action early.
This is the guy, AK Gack.
We have to wait to call from the blind side.
Adam Ford makes his feelings known. I feel like Gack's got some more upside to tap into this season. He's averaging 8 and 6. He's been in the starting lineup. He's been coming off the bench. I'm high on him as a talent moving forward. So whether it's this year as the full breakout or it's next year or beyond, I think he's going to become a real player in this league.
I think part of that is making him a focus of getting him the ball. I think that's a huge part of it because so many games in the past, they haven't really looked to go inside. So I like that they've found him now.
You know what, he brings the defensive end as well. Gillespie, an awkward pass for McCarron and that a little bit sloppy. And they've had these stretches in games too, Liam, the Breakers, where they have just had some of these odd moments.
Yeah. He's on that European time zone and it just lost track of things there for a moment.
Must be, no matter which way this falls, it must be a really uncomfortable position for him to be in.
It's a strange one. I think, Beck, your comments in the pregame were really interesting to say, hey, it's not something we see a lot in the NBL or the WNBL, but internationally, the NBA mid-season trades, you know, players demanding trades at times as Edwards sticks a contested jumper. He's starting to feel himself in Europe big time, where players and clubs all looking out for themselves.
I think that's where people just remember it is your job. So that's why he's out here today. He's doing his job. And so that plays a huge element into it.
And Karen Banks at home. Interesting reading today. When he left Bayern Munich a couple of seasons ago, he actually went to Red Star Belgrade during the middle of a season. So it's not sort of completely unknown territory for Gillespie where a situation hasn't worked out and he's been sort of shuffled aside during the course of a season. So that might help him, but he can't sort of shake the feeling to think it'd be a weird one for him.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But as you say, as an international pro, something he's done before, and I dare say something he'll probably do again.
Yep.
Yeah, because he's not towards the end of his career, he's midway through it. So, of course, Taco Fall is the elephant in the room of this entire discussion, where I'm sure we'll see some more play out in that regard over the next couple of weeks.
Sean Bairstow with a big hit from outside. Continuing to shoot it really nicely.
And there we're seeing the combination of his skill set, right? Earlier, attacking off the bounce, creating out of pick and roll, and he's also a catch and shoot guy from long range.
New Zealand have been ahead at quarter time in their past 3 games. Cairns have been behind in their past 3 games at the opening break. Foul off the ball here. Wardenberg picks up the personal.
I still like that he's being aggressive on the offensive boards.
It's going to stay a Cairns ball. So foul on the breakers. My apologies. 25-21, just over a minute remaining in this opening frame. Joel Peterson, Beck Allen, Liam Santa Maria, Ariana Prather with you. Rob Edwards, tough finish inside with the left hand.
Good, Rob Edwards. Knocked down a couple of triples, bit of mid-range. There he gets right to the cup. He's got a game-high 10 points, 4 of 7 from the field.
Adam Ford's a little bit frustrated, calling for the injection of Jonah Antonio. Wonder whether he and Ken Widget were all that pleased to see each other this afternoon after their run-in last Sunday. I'm sure they had a jovial discussion pre-game.
Who do you think's holding the grudge? Coach Ford or referee Widget?
I reckon Ken's business was done with when he told Jonah to get packing last week. Ball bounces out. Gak was scurrying after it. He thought it was going to be going back in orange, and it's a breakers ball. Take a closer look. Now it's nutmegged AK Gak on the way through, and he might have just grazed it with one of the hands. So 40 seconds remaining in this opening frame. Can the Snakes get a stop here and tie it up or take the lead? Can New Zealand stretch the advantage as Menenga stretches the floor?
Oh, that's a tough, tough shot, isn't it?
One that is right in that man's wheelhouse. 2 of 3 from outside, 6 points for Sam Menenga against his former squad. Edwards in takeover mode at the end of this opening term. Gets the screen from Gak, waves that one away. Underneath, looking for AK Gak. Chance for Lopez behind the back. He can't hit to end the opening term. It's a good one for New Zealand, though. Quarter time in the books in Cairns, and the Breakers lead it 28-23.
Make sure you get your phones out, point it towards the big screen, or cards on the floor. Scan the QR code, enter your name, phone number, seat number. It's that simple. You can win yourself $350. That's right. Mick at MQ Forklifts is giving away $350 tonight. We'll find out who that winner is at 3/4 time. It's that simple. Scan that QR code, enter your details, your name, contact phone number, and seat number. We'll get back to you 3/4 time. Thanks to Mick and the team, MQ Forklifts. Service the Cairns, Boston, Atherton, Tableland, Cassowary Coast regions. And offer on-site visits to forklift sales, service, and repairs.
Colour and ceremony of Indigenous round, recognising First Nations people, their contribution to our game and to society more broadly. It's become a real feature of the NBL in recent seasons, as have the artworks across the jerseys. Kevin Edmonston, the designer of the Cairns Taipans jersey, striking colourway, all about far north Queensland, Kevin's home, his culture and where he's from. So wonderful to have them on display again.
Oh, he's lost his shoe.
Marker Jackson Cartwright's lost the kick, and he's going back to get it immediately as we start his second term. Joel Peterson, Beck Allen, Liam Santa Maria, and Ariana Prather with you. It's the Breakers by 5 as we start. Parker Jackson Cartwright's got half a shoe on as he whips it to Lopez, forces his way inside. Nice finish.
Good take from the young fella. With those long arms, that huge 7-foot-plus wingspan, glides his way to the hoop.
Corin Galloway out there for his first run this evening. So too Jackson McCoy, left-hand finish off the backboard, and points will count as Lopez slaps it off the backboard. So 5-point lead to the Breakers restored. Let's head down to Ariani. You're listening to Coach Kopp at quarter time.
That's right, Coach telling his team, where's our defense? It all starts with defense. And watching the Breakers, that's one of the things I'm most impressed with, is how much pride they take in their defense. And it all starts with their leader right there, PJC, averaging over 2 steals per game. And what that does is just give your team a spark and tell them all to pick it up on the opposite end.
Thanks, Ariana. Nenga down low against Gak. Making his move, and that's a contested ball. I mean, very good hands tonight, Liam. Of course, you've got NBL experience. Ariana's got college experience at the Division 1 level. Beck's got international basketball experience. I am bringing absolutely zero to the table. Zero.
Oh, Joel, that's not true at all.
I am superfluous to our requirements this evening, Liam.
No, you're the play-by-play man, and you're doing a stellar job of it.
Delving into the dictionary is about all I can come up with as Pinot finishes that one.
And Beck, these two teams in that first quarter doing a stellar job of shooting the ball from the perimeter.
They have, and not to be a Debbie Downer, but you just don't want to rely solely on this, and that's why we were talking just before about defense and needing to lock into that and making sure you're not making every pass an easy catch. You know, get into the lanes. But I really think that both teams are doing a good job of utilising the corners offensively and really spacing and spreading out the court.
You see the shooting stats so far, both going at over 50%, these two teams. Mooney on the move. He can light it up from outside, and Groves just gave Menenga a fair old shove.
Wow, he just wasn't able to get away with it there. Often those pick and roll coverages, the big will come and hug the screener. And by that, I mean, make some contact, give room for the defender to slide underneath. And there they got their coverage completely mixed up. Edwards is going over the top. Groves is just shoving Menenga in the shoulder.
Wasn't very well disguised.
Just say when you got two hands like that.
I don't know whether he really tried to disguise it either. Tanner Groves. Mooney tosses that one away. Menenga can't reel it in.
single biggest lead of the game for the Breakers is these 7 points. Of course, no Jonah Bolden, who went down with a calf injury on Sunday. He'd been playing some good basketball, so the likes of Benenga, maybe Dane Pinot coming in off the bench, they have to shuffle around that big man rotation.
Yeah, they've been shuffling around their rotation, all season, the Breakers. And think about all those other guys, Mojave King and Max Darling as Groves floats that short-range jumper in. They've been mixing and matching the lineup. Now, they haven't had Parker Jackson Cartwright. They haven't had Sam Menenga out. These really key pieces. Matt Mooney, but different role players having to step into different spots throughout the season.
No Darling, no King still for the Breakers. Tisovic no good that time. Jackson Cartwright keeps it alive, threads the needle to Lopez, who can't get it off before the clock expires.
And going back to that point, you just realise it's not always about your starters. It's about who's that spark off the bench, who's that next rotation, because it's bigger than just the 5 that are on. So whenever you have those injuries and people coming in and out, it does have a big effect on the wider group.
Edwards from the corner.
Love to see it, love to see it. He's feeling confident, isn't he? Yeah.
He's up and about, and as a result, Coach Pop wants to talk about it, man. 13 points, he's 3 of 6 from long range now, and on the Amy replay, you see little action there. Parker Jackson Cartwright gets caught on the wrong side. Matt Mooney's not there to help out, and you just cannot give Rob Edwards that kind of space when he's feeling in this kind of way.
And both teams are shooting it well from outside. The Breakers 4 of 7 so far. The Snakes 5 of 10. Ariana caught up with Adam Ford pre-game to speak about whether they are living and dying by that 3-ball.
Almost 40% of all your guys' points this season have come from beyond the arc. Is it a little scary to live or die by the 3-point sword?
Yes and no. We recruited for it. There's some guys that are doing well in their career average from the perimeter, and there's some guys that are having a bit of a dip. So, all we can do is keep encouraging the shot that we want to take. We don't want to rely on, getting to the foul line necessarily, which may or may not pull our weight. But if we can zip that ball around the floor and put up a good look, and it's a great look from a great shooter, we'll live with that result.
Well, good luck tonight, Coach. Thank you.
Yeah, good insights from Coach Ford. I mean, that's the modern game, right? You want guys on the floor who can shoot it, and you want to get them good looks. Sure, put heat on the rim, get attempts at the rim, get to the free throw line, but you want good shooters shooting good looks from long range.
We've got plenty of those. This Adam Ford-led team. Corin Galloway can fill it up from outside. Beck said that Rob Edwards is feeling confident. Rob Edwards wakes up confident, gets out of bed confident, has a shower confident, the whole lot. Don't call that man the microwave for nothing. Lopez, Jackson, Cartwright, Pinot, Mooney and Anticevic out there for the Breakers. The little man working inside, and that was tapped home by someone. Dane Pinot claiming it.
I reckon Sam Wartenberg got a piece of that at the end of the day.
He's a Kiwi at heart. Wartenberg out there with Taylor, Armstrong, Groves and Edwards. Sean Taylor's second game in Snakes colours. 4 on the shot clock here for Armstrong. Making his move, firing. No good. Groves tries to keep it in. Almost cleaned up a referee and some signage. Let's take a look at this to get a decisive view. Nice tip in, Sam.
He'd be spewing, wouldn't he?
Really good defensive possession from the Breakers. Anytime you can get them to the end of the shot clock and they're hoisting up a contested 3-point look, you've done a really, really good job. And that's what Coach Pop was calling for in that timeout. No doubt, an increased effort at the defensive end.
Jackson Cartwright snaking his way inside and finishing. So crafty.
God, he's had to work hard for his points, hasn't he, tonight? I'm happy to see that one going for him.
Yeah, look, such is life for PJC, right? You're playing at this kind of level, you're going to have good defenders that are your primary guy. They're going to throw numbers off at you on those coverages. So that last week in Tasmania, still ends up with 15 points, 9 assists. Didn't have many guys that came with him. He's always going to have to work hard for it.
Did last weekend
and the Montrezl Harrell performance, Adelaide's win, did it change your mind in terms of MVP, which is still giving it to PJC at this stage?
It's close, isn't it? I mean, I think I am. Yeah, I mean, they're in second place, and he's been absolutely outstanding. Beck spoke about it earlier. 5th in scoring, leads the league in assists, is 3rd in the league in steals. Carrying a huge load for this squad. Rob Edwards deals with a little bit of blood.
Saying he has to get subbed out of the game.
Let them back to order. You can call it timeout to order. Timeout.
Adam Ford's after a medical diagnosis and a timeout here.
I would like you to observe him. Hey, Ken, because you've been really good for us the last couple of weeks. Can you find out what Rob's bleeding for us right now? We'll patch it up.
The rule is bleeding players got to get subbed for. Okay.
36-30, Adam Ford. Dr. Ford doesn't believe the patient is bleeding, unfortunately. So 5:57 remaining. 36-30. New Zealand lead over the Cairns Taipans. Tanner Groves takes a drink in this timeout. It's been an intriguing start between these two teams. 2nd and 10th. New Zealand 6-3. Cairns 3-8. Of course, plenty of connections between these two squads as well. One of those is the two Sams. So we've spoken about it already. The two big men out of Auckland, Sam Wardenberg and Sam Menenga, former teammates, both in that tall black squad for next week's FIBA window as well, Beck. And they've both got sort of similar games in some ways. Can stroke it from outside and can score the ball.
I mean, even if we just speak about tonight, Sam Menenga has had such an impact. And even if he hasn't dropped all of his shots, he's been aggressive. And I think that that's what they really needed from him tonight. But his ability to pick and pop or pick and slip for that three-point shot, but then also back a player down inside the key, it makes him such a weapon.
Big man, he was watching New Zealand games at the age of 8 out at the North Shore Events Centre with Sam Menenga when he grew up in Auckland and played with the Snakes last season, now plying his trade in Breakers colours. He'll be in Tall Blacks colours over the FIBA window, which is terrific to see. Max Darling was among that squad. Kaya Isaac, who's on the New Zealand bench as well, just sitting next to Freddie Gillespie there in between he and Mitch McCarron. Is part of that squad too.
So Wardenberg and Menenga, two Kiwi national team teammates. Great find from Wardenberg for Edwards. Playing against each other today. Who, Beck, has been your favourite national team teammate to go up against in the WNBA over the years?
I don't know why it's always Sammy Whitcomb for me. I think because we can also have a little bit of a laugh. Do you know?
On the floor?
Yeah, like one time I remember I accidentally slapped her in the face and at least we had a laugh about it. Do you know?
Was she laughing?
I don't know, but I was.
Can't imagine too many people would be laughing about that. Of course, the Bendigo Spirits, Sammy Whitcomb, just firing away on Wednesday night.
Just having a good season.
We didn't even make it to half-time job before Bendigo got a shout-out. You want to talk about Dyson Daniels at this point?
Oh, how long have you got, my man? How long have you got? Whiz, isn't he firing? Pass inside from Gack. Just a little bit too much on it from Wardenberg. The big man couldn't collect it.
Still love that they're looking for that, though.
Get him involved. 5th turnover for the Snakes, 4 for the Breakers, as you can see on screen.
How was that performance from Dyson Daniels today? Just quietly, while we're on the topic. Off the back of that game against Boston.
He's been absolutely lighting it up.
4 straight games with 6 or more steals.
Unheard of. Absolutely unheard of, the kind of things that he's doing at the moment. Oh, Edwards is denied by Gillespie.
Strong take from Edwards. This is the type of strong-bodied player Adam Ford loves to have on his squad because this is a physical league and he likes players like that. You know, initiate the contact. Yes, he got rejected from behind, but the foul was called on Matt Mooney, I suppose. Coach Kopp's going to challenge the call. This is an interesting one because previously, this is where that change to the rules over the offseason may come into play. Previously, if this foul was called on Matt Mooney and it turned out there was no foul on Mooney, but there was a foul on Gillespie, then they couldn't change that call. Coach Kopp would win the call, the challenge. But now when they review this, let's watch it closely. The foul Called on Mooney there. Does Gillespie connect him over the back of the head? He does. So it may be a case, potentially, they may just keep the foul on Mooney because he wasn't in great position. But potentially they can change it.
I mean, is that a push-off?
There's a bit going on in this play. See the left elbow extended of Edwards.
Not a huge extension. I would think usually you wouldn't be calling an offensive foul on that play. It's an interesting one. Because Cop might be right and say, hey, that was no foul on Matt Mooney, but it might be an unsuccessful challenge anyway.
Is Gillespie, did he get him over the top there, do you reckon? I'm not sure Gillespie gets him, and the challenge is successful. So 39-32, challenge successful. Scott Butler can explain all of that. How did that one play out, Scott?
Hey guys, so look, when you process the play, you can see some very marginal contact by Gillespie on the head of the shooter, but the main and the dominant action is the block shot. That first contact is deemed as marginal, and that's why the call was overturned.
Scott, was the original foul called on Matt Mooney or Freddie Gillespie?
Definitely on Gillespie, yes.
Got you.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate the explanation. Great to have the insight in the review centre. And Matt Mooney goes up the other end and laces one.
They're shooting the heck out of the ball. Talk about the Taipans living and dying by the three man. The Breakers are living from three-point territory. 5 made triples at over 60%.
Edwards making his move. Fouled on the way through. That time a foul definitely on Mooney. So 42-34, Rob Edwards at the line. Let's check in courtside with Ariana.
That's right. Tanner Groves walked right by me with a nasty cut on his left hand, but I'm not sure exactly what happened on that play because he's taped up in multiple different places on the top of his forearm, on his wrist, where that big gash was on his hand, and on his middle finger. So he's just cut up all over the place. He's still licking a little bit of the blood off of his hand, but he is taped up in those multiple places and sitting on the bench ready to check back in.
It might be time to check the nails. I reckon.
Someone's got the claws out on the court. Jackson Cartwright fighting for it, comes up with it.
Edwards had the alleged blood on the back of the hand.
Do you reckon they managed to convince Adam Ford that Tanner Groves was bleeding this time?
Multiple gashes.
Maybe Adam Ford's one of those people that just can't watch those medical shows and he just didn't want to believe that there was any blood. I'm able to say that as someone who can definitely not stomach those kind of
really?
By the way,
you can't see, see the claret?
No good. No good. Here's Armstrong going inside. Edwards outside. Rebound from Gack. 3:30 remaining. Antonio straight away 3-ball.
Timeout New Zealand. Offensive rebounds for the Taipans, extra possessions. And Beck, you would know as a shooter, perfect time to let that thing fly at the kick out off the offensive glass.
I mean, you're not going to get a more open shot, are you? So that's the one when you're in rhythm, you're there, let it fly. I think that's a great shot for them. Yeah, there we are.
And Antonio,
he knew that was in with a minute it left his hands, didn't he?
He's a super confident shooter. Hasn't had a great shooting year, Jonah Antonio. 26% from 3, 34% last year, but man, he is feeling it tonight. 2 of 3 from long range.
Been a tough watch for Antonio at times, but we know the West Aussie can stroke it. When he gets going, look out.
And that's with having a full roster, isn't it? That just plays into hands with that as well. So then he's going to find himself in the positions where he gets his best looks from, rather than playing out of position and having to adapt like that.
That lightning quick release has Jonah Antonio. 3:35 remaining, 5-point ball game. It's hovered around this margin throughout this evening. Great to have you with us. First leg of a
Saturday night doubleheader, Illawarra and Sydney to come. A marquee matchup in the Freeway Series. That is coming your way. Full pre-game from 7:30 Eastern Daylight Time. Foul on Armstrong for the reach.
Well, it's all good. They got, excuse me, they got fouls to give late in the second quarter here, and Adam Ford clearly wanting some extended pressure up the floor.
Armstrong, Edwards, Antonio, Gack, Wardenberg, the 5 for Adam Ford at the moment. Lopez, Bairstow, Menenga, Jackson, Cartwright and Gillespie for the Breakers. Edwards leads all scorers with 17. Lopez has got 8 for New Zealand. Down low to Menenga, making a move on Wardenberg. Foul on the baseline.
And pressing like that absolutely served its purpose. It slowed them down. It didn't let them flow organically into their offense. So now are having to really fight for a good look. So that was really good by Cairns.
Gillespie off to Jackson Cartwright. Bairstow, no hesitation, finds the bottom of the cup.
6 made triples from 10 attempts now from the Breakers. Both these teams feeling good from three-point territory.
Bairstow's 2 of 2. He only hit 2 of 7 coming into the game. Antonio outside.
Great find. Great find. That sort of cross-court pass. That's fantastic.
Bairstow surveying. Gillespie pulls it down and puts it back in.
Crafty from Bairstow off the ball screen. Hostage dribble, keeps the defense on his back. Misses at the rim, but engages the offensive rebounder for the putback.
Wardenberg making his move outside. We tick down toward 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Edwards in rhythm.
You see that pin in is just really good team basketball. You're getting Edwards open by sort of sacrificing yourself and doing that screen in so that he can flare out and get open.
Yeah, here's that action you're talking about, Beck. And keep an eye on Rob Edwards. And the scout breakdown from Lopez on the flare screen here, as you're describing, tries to slip underneath. And man, Rob Edwards is rolling. He's hit 3 triples before that one, and you cannot give him that kind of space.
20 points already for Rob Edwards. Karim Lopez, he's at the line. I don't know whether the afro's grown or the headband just makes it look bigger.
You like the headband look?
It's good. Yeah, it's good. If, you know, one of those things that if only I could pull it off, Liam, maybe I'd go for it.
I don't think you should go there. Heading during the FIBA break back to play with the Mexican senior national team. Lopez, that's an offensive foul. Swinging the bows around. Head-high contact.
He's had a bit of experience with the Mexican senior team.
Yeah, played in the Olympic qualifiers during the last off-season in Puerto Rico. Did really well. So it'll be good further experience for him. I tell you, he's very big back home, Karim Lopez, as the future of Mexican basketball.
A couple of next stars headed for some international duties as well. McCarron, floater will go. Wily veteran Mitch McCarron gets 2 to fall, pushes it back out to a 10-point ball game. Minute and a half remaining in this first half. Joel Peterson, Beck Allen, Liam Santa Maria, Ariana Prather with you. Armstrong behind the back, can't get that to fall. Edwards plays the passing lane. Get the call he wanted.
Sam Menenga talks Lopez through that action. Standing still there, waiting for the ball to come to him. Edwards jumping in the passing lane. That's when you've got a back cut. Back cut along the baseline and flush it with authority.
And all the Breakers, they've led from go to woe in this one. They've kept it close throughout though. Menenga from outside, time winding down on the shot clock. Edwards pulls in the rebound and then he tosses it away.
It's that tagging up defensive transition strategy that the Breakers use. When the Taipans pull down defensive rebounds, there's a breaker right there on that guy, pressuring. Wardenberg picks up the offensive foul. Edwards throws the turnover. It's paying dividends for the Breakers right now.
10-point lead as we tick down toward half-time. McCarron just fumbled it away. Former teammate Corin Galloway thought they might have still been in Adelaide colours as he went for the high five then. Went to give Mitch the high five and then said, oh, no, we're not playing together anymore. Armstrong keeping it alive, and he's lost it too.
That's very good defense from Lopez, the 17-year-old forward, against the very crafty ball-handling point guard in Taran Armstrong. Look at the way he slides his feet and then uses that length, the wingspan, to get contact, and they win the ball back.
Do you think he's improved in that facet of the game throughout the course of this season?
He's improved in all kinds of facets, for sure, but just that defensive accountability, ability to slide your feet, stay in front. Don't rely on being able to come across and block shots. I'm super excited with the growth that he's shown over the course of the early parts of this season.
Got one of the great defenders in Australian women's basketball sitting between us, Len. What do you like about his game, Beck?
I was going to comment on the length. You know, I had this as well, especially as a junior, where you do rely on that length for the blocks, just like what we saw then. Thank you for helping me make my point. But you don't want to rely solely on that, and that's when I had the reality check, especially going overseas, where, hey, you actually got to move your feet. So that does play a huge role in your growth as a player.
Great to have Beck Allen with us in commentary this evening. Time winding down in this first half. 9-second difference, shot and game clock. Sam Menenga, a little up and over in the runner.
Doesn't it look different when a lefty does a floater?
Biggest lead of the game for the Breakers. Foul up the floor. They've got plenty to give. Which McCarron thought may as well. Alex McNaught getting a little bit of run. Just his 4th appearance of the season.
Alan Davis checks in as well. Cop looking to avoid late personal fouls on key rotation guys.
5 seconds remaining. Armstrong underneath to Edwards for 2 more. He's got 22 as we get to half-time. And despite the best efforts of the man they call the microwave, it's New Zealand by 10.
Oh boy, Besto completely lost his guy along the baseline, but despite that play, the Breakers would be pumped with that first half on the road, in enemy territory, up by double digits at the break.
Yeah, absolutely. They couldn't be much more pleased with what they've delivered. These two teams haven't played in this calendar year, and so far it has been all New Zealand who've led from the outset, and they've looked pretty good in doing it, Beck.
They have looked really good, and they've stayed within their system, and they haven't got frazzled when you have the ups and downs and those ebbs and flows of a game. So some points it does get a little bit messy, but I feel like they harness it back in.
Let's go down to Ariana.
Well, you guys have the lead at the half. What needs to happen to keep that momentum going?
Yeah, we got to do a better job with the scout. You know, Edwards, I don't know how many he's got, but he's gotten loose, and just some stuff that we scouted. So we just got to do a better job with that, and we should be able to keep the lead.
Your team has almost 20 points off the bench. How important is that spark when those guys check into the game?
Yeah, it's big. I mean, you know, myself, I haven't really got going. I think Parker's, you know, gotten off to a slow start as well, so the bench coming in and helping has been huge.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Matt Mooney with Ariana Prather. Rob Edwards has got 22, Matt, but you've got a 10-point lead. 52 the Breakers, 42 the Snakes. We'll break it all down on the other side of this.
please give a big round of applause for our performance tonight. Thank you very much.
It is a 10-point halftime lead to the New Zealand Breakers. Karim Lopez has been busy. Rob Edwards has 22 of Kansas' 42 points at the half, and they have a 10-point deficit in the first of our Saturday night doubleheader. Joel Peterson, Beck Allen, Liam Santamaria, Ariana Prather with you. There are our halftime stats. Liam, it's been a shooting exhibition from these two teams.
Yeah, it has. Look at the three-point shooting. 7 of 16 for the Taipans, 6 of 11 for the Breakers. So both shooting at a really good clip. The rebounding count heavily in favour of New Zealand, dominating on the offensive glass and winning extra possessions.
Absolutely they are. We spoke about Rob Edwards, Beck. He's been terrific. 22 points. He is our feature player in our Hungry Jacks halftime highlights. He's produced plenty of them.
I mean, he's really holding it down for the Cairns Taipans, isn't he? He's going to need others around him to sort of lift in terms of scoring. But right now, he's just really shooting it from everywhere, isn't he? But exactly, it's him pulling up behind the three, getting to the rim. It's also him with his off-ball movement of cutting along the baseline and getting those easy shots around the rim. So he's doing a little bit of everything for his team.
Yeah, you're right. His teammates have been setting him up nicely, haven't they, with the screens and with the back cut passes. You see on the Blackmore's shot chart coming up, he's got a nice variety at the rim from three-point territory. Hasn't scored from the stripe just yet, but man, he's been absolutely spectacular. 22, as you say, in this first half. But he needs some friends. Man, no other Taipan has more than 6 points, and they've got a double-digit deficit right now, so others need to get going.
Where does it come from? Where does the help come from for the Snakes?
Well, it starts with Taron Armstrong, of course, as the playmaker and a guy to get things going, but they need something happening on the interior with those bigs. You know, Tanner Groves and AK Gack and Sam Wardenberg, those guys need to get more productive in this second half.
New Zealand have had a little bit more of a spread in that first half. Karim Lopez has been terrific again. He's been a really solid run of form of recent times, and he was sort of the fire starter for them, but he's been doing it in a variety of ways, Beck.
He really has. He's sort of the player that does a lot of those 1%ers as well, where it's getting up on the offensive glass. I also love the players that don't always necessarily get the stats. It's tapping it off the rebounding boards and someone else getting in there, but it's how he gets to the rim. It's also his defensive presence, and that's something that can't go forgotten because it's those efforts that brings the level up from everyone else around him.
Of course, the next star, draft eligible next year. He and Pettery Coppin are having some fun out there, Liam. And a couple of these guys headed for international duties over the course of the next little while. You can see some of their draft projections there. And Malik Lewis has been playing some good ball as well.
Really good ball. Had another 15 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists last night in Perth in a losing effort. But he's been excellent for Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, and I think, you know, his defence in particular, maybe sliding a little under the radar Josh King last night mentioned, he should be in those Defensive Player of the Year conversations, and I'm here for it. Roko Zakarski, he's going to suit up in the green and gold, and Ethan Almanza going to make his senior national team debut for Spain after having such a decorated career in their junior national program. So it's going to be exciting a couple of weeks coming up during the FIBA break for those young fellas.
Yeah, he's won everything there is to win in terms of junior national basketball with Spain, that is for sure, Ethan Almanza. Hey, coming up next, Illawarra and Sydney. I tell you what, this is going to be a marquee matchup. Two high-flying sides at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. It's a terrific rivalry too, Beck. This is going to be something to watch.
It's going to be a big game, and they'll know that it's one that they need to get. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out.
From a second half perspective, Joel, man, look, you see the Taipans there, a couple of them having a bit of a chat. Let's see what kind of response we get. You're down 10 on your home floor. You're on a 7-game losing streak. You're going to need to bring something for your home fans after the break.
And leave it all out there because you've got the week off. You can go, you can rest, you can recover, and you can get out there in this second half and get after it. That's what Adam Ford will want from his team. They've got a 10-point deficit to make up. The second half is next from the Cairns Convention Centre.
For over 20 years, Cairns Homes has built estates with a difference. Your dream home sanctuary awaits, ready for you to just move in and enjoy. Discover the Cairns difference today.
Life is all about moments. To yourself, or with those you love. You can find them in every day. If you just look closely. Because it's the little things that we hold on to forever. Maybe those little moments aren't so small after all. Your moment, yours, Raffis.
The perfect gift for any occasion. Buy a gift card now.
Newcomer, the world's first patented neuroscience device that helps to lower stress levels and promote better sleep. Cold plunge therapy improves circulation and recovery, and it's not just for elite athletes, it's for anyone. Welcome to World. Shop 7, 204, Mulgrave Road, Westwood, Recovery Lane.
If you see the Jacklin's Breakouts mini squad, all the seniors run around in some Jacklin's Breakouts mini cupcakes. Might want to make some noise and get yourself some free Jacklin's Breakouts mini cupcakes. See, run around, make some noise.
Two on the clock.
Take your game from the local court to the big time. Apply now to step onto an NBL court after the final buzzer. Backing local ballers is just the beginning.
Second half about to get underway at the Cairns Convention Centre. 52-42 New Zealand over the Cairns Taipans. Joel Peterson, Beck Allen, Liam Santa Maria with you. We spoke about who needed to step up for Cairns if they're to get back into this one, Liam. And Sam Wardenberg's had a curious old afternoon.
Yeah, the scoring, they need his scoring punch in this second half, Wardenberg. You know, he's 13th in the league in scoring. He's top 10 in the league in rebounds, 4 and 2 there. He's been finding guys, 3 assists. You love that from the power forward or the 5 spot, but would be good to get him going.
Love to see him in the action a little bit more. Ariana Prathers with us courtside. Ariana, what do you want to see here in this second half?
Listen, there's 2 glaring categories that I see that Cairns has to work on in the second half if they want to win this game. First is bench points. The starting 5 for the Breakers are coming into the game wearing them out, and then the players are coming off the bench and just setting it on fire, almost 20 points off the bench. And then secondly, they have to grab some boards. They are getting double-digit out-rebounded by New Zealand Breakers, and if you want to win a game against a team that you're the underdog, you have to crash the glass on every single possession.
Spot on, Ariana. Thank you. Let's have Ariana courtside. Division 1 college experience, Emmy Award winner as well. They're in very good hands. Beck Allen, WNBL Defensive Player of the Year. Rob Edwards getting it to go. He's got the Snakes in good hands.
That's tough. Great poise down low. The shot fake. Got the teenager up in the air. As Antonio finds it, takes a little time down there. Shot fake. Contact. Strong finish up and in.
So that's when you know that it's your night. When they roll in like that, that's when you know that you're hot and you just need to keep going with it.
What's he going for here, do you reckon?
Oh, look, honestly, I'm going to put out, say, definitely 40s.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, of course he's thinking that. He's the most confident guy in the room.
No, not what he's thinking. What are you thinking?
Look, you know what? I'm going to have an opinion in the next couple of minutes. I want to see how New Zealand decide to defend him. I want to see if they make any adjustments.
25 points here. 1 possession into the second half.
I thought we were going to get a Leonard Copeland-style bold prediction from Beck in her first outing.
I mean, I considered it. I really did.
Anticevic outside. He strokes it.
Is Chris Golding, season high 46, in danger? Maybe we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but he is in great form.
Thought Milton Doyle was going to give it a shake last night at one stage. Bryce Cotton had a bit of a go at it. Doyle hit 8 threes in the end last night. Cotton had it on a string. Matt Hurt with the quietest 27 you'll ever see in your life, just accumulates them.
Mooney has that job on Rob Edwards right now.
10-point lead from half-time restored. Wardenberg with it in his hands. Edwards making the move, gets Anticevic in the air. Gets the call.
There's a handful. He's all kinds of a handful right now. Cleverly used him as a screener because Matt Mooney does not want to leave him at all. Eventually they had to switch and he took care of Grant Anticevic as he got him up in the air.
So 19 points a game this season, 6th in the league in scoring, 2nd in terms of 3-point makes a game, just over 3 a game for Rob Edwards. He's been prolific here again, 4 of 10 from outside. 25 before he steps to the stripe here. The challenge is who can go with him. Next best in terms of scoring is Jonah Antonio, who's got 6. Wardenberg's got 4, Groves has got 4, Armstrong's got 3, McCoy's got 2, AK Gag's got 1. That's where it ends. The Breakers have got 6 players who've scored at least 7 points. Menenga, he dumps one down to go into double digits.
Well executed action. Mooney finds Menenga over the top. The Taipans, their rotations, a step behind the play. Easy finish inside.
It's the fact that he doesn't hesitate when he rolls, and that just makes the whole action a lot quicker, and that's why he's so open there in the paint.
Armstrong fighting his way underneath. Tisevich pulls it down. Jackson Cartwright, way up high. Meninga straight away, 3-ball. Lopez almost kept it alive for the Breakers. Armstrong comes up with it, 3-on-1 advantage, and the Snakes can't work it out.
Oh, that's frustrating for Cairns. They messed that up. 3-on-1, and it went boom right off Tanner Grove's head. Frustrating for Adam Ford and the home fans.
Almost needed the doing sound effect there. Tanner Groves has got a bit of cushioning with the beard. Mooney went up and down. That's called.
And Becca, this is where I feel like if you can, you know what? Yeah, you need some other guys to go with Rob Edwards, but in the meantime, let's ride that hot hand.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a balance between the two, right? You know, you want to keep making sure you get the ball back to the person who's hitting shots. That's a focus. But also, how can you involve others? And I think that that's with moving the ball and not just playing with so much dribble sometimes.
Wardenberg out to Armstrong. Gee, around and out. Who cleaned it up but Rob Edwards?
He's just having one of those nights.
He said, I'll do it.
The ball's finding him, even off misses. He's just collating points. 29 now. Inside 3 minutes into the third quarter, he is putting together a big one.
2 off his season high, 31, of course. That's his career high as well, his first season here in the NBL. Plenty of experience in the G League and internationally. He's brought so much to this competition. Feed inside Armstrong. Gack, not the first time, but yes, the second.
Turnover. Taipans up and about. All of a sudden, a couple of Rob Edwards buckets, some others get involved. They're doing a better job on the glass. The pressure up the floor results in a turnover. A chance here to cut it. Even potentially to a 2-possession game here.
And let's not forget about the 6th man, which is the crowd. They really need to play to them as well because they're going to give them a whole other energy.
Antonio making his move inside. Gack, as time expires. And the Snakes are pulling their way back into this one. Only 4 points in arrears, the Taipans at the Tangerine timeout. 53-57, and some nice ball movement here.
That's what you were calling for, Beck. Keep it off the floor, move the ball, everyone gets involved. Gack finishes on the shot clock buzzer.
So 6:37 remaining in this third period. Tanner Groves just getting the lacerations on the hand, still checked out. Let's listen in to Adam Ford.
He's a muck guy. I want you to plug, but when he's involved in the on-ball, you'll back up again. Yeah. We're going to switch 1 through 4. Understood? Just on the on-balls, yeah? You stay square. If it's PJC, blitz it. Otherwise, we're not jumping Mooney or anybody else, okay? AK will tell you left, right. He'll yell square. Everything else is switch. Good? Come on, fellas.
Well, here off the top there, Adam Ford talks about Gillespie being the muck guy. He's telling his guys, when you're guarding Gillespie, you can be the help. Sit in the middle of the paint and help out. Obviously, when he gets up into the ball screen, you've got to get up and involve yourself in the coverage. But he's identified Gillespie as a guy that they can sit off. And you love the energy in that huddle. There's some pop in this group right now for the Taipans as they're back in this game.
It's always good to listen to. Here's Adam Ford. Breakers back with the ball out of the timeout. Up by 4, 6-0 run for the Snakes. Foul underneath off the ball. Meninga not particularly happy with Rob Edwards. Neither of them particularly happy with one another, to be fair. So it'll be... See another look here. A little bit going on off the ball between the two of them. The New Zealand ball off the baseline. Jackson Cartwright to inbound. Bairstow, Menenga, Mooney and Gillespie out there. Wardenberg, Edwards, Antonio, Armstrong and Gack for the Taipans. Gillespie from the free throw line. Rolls around and out. It won't fall. Armstrong pushing the pace on offense. That one's taken away by Mooney. Messy stuff. He just walks into a triple. That one won't fall. Rebound Armstrong. Ariana, you were listening to Pettery Competent that last time out.
That's right. He was telling his team that they have to clean it up and get back to executing their offense. And, you know, I have to say that the energy did seem super deflated just looking at everyone's just body language. So, Beck, I'll ask you, when the other team has the momentum going their way and you're also playing against the crowd, as you mentioned, how do you get it back swinging your way?
Good, it's a good question. She's asking, how do you get the momentum swinging back your way when the crowd's going against you and it's all going the other way?
I think it's just having that level of poise, isn't it? It's staying true to the system and the plan and the scout that you guys created coming into this game. There's always the preparation that you've got to lean back into, but look after the ball. That's going to be a big part of it too.
Jackson Cartwright probing his way inside. Good defense from Gack.
Doing a good job on Jackson Cartwright. Really making life tough. Single digits for him, 4 assists.
Woods is frustrated. Get a couple of changes here. Ford prowling up and down the sideline. Taryn Armstrong comes out of the game. Jackson McCoy comes back in, 9-5, 7 and 3 steals. Last time out against Southeast Melbourne, he was a little bit of everything. Halfway gone in this third term. Joel Peterson, Beck Allen, Liam Santamaria and Ariana Prather with you. Illawarra, Sydney, second leg of our doubleheader this evening. We've got a ball game on our hands here. Bairstow, no good. Gack the rebound.
Ariana mentioned it coming in at the start of the second half, the rebounding. New Zealand, so many offensive rebounds in that first half, and the Taipans doing a much better job in that regard the first half of this third term.
It's all there from Antonio on that last 3-ball attempt. Just tricky to see Parker Jackson Cartwright hadn't been credited with the block, which would be highly unusual.
That's what I was thinking.
Nice finish from Menenga. Scoring had just dried up for the Breakers. Break that 6-0 Cairns run. Still shooting better than 50% from the field. The Taipans, Breakers just under that mark. They swing the ball again, Cairns. Antonio outside, no good. Oh, Galloway with the athletic play, and then he's landed really awkwardly on the knee.
Well, his leg got kind of caught underneath him. Might have been one of those ones that scared him more than actually injured him. But look at this, ouch.
Is it his ankle? Everything.
His leg got caught underneath and he couldn't right himself quick enough. Now, this is where I'm starting to get a little frustrated that Rob Edwards isn't touching the ball. You know, yes, that was a good look for Jonah Antonio, but your man's on fire.
He's got 29 of 53.
And he barely had a look in these last few minutes.
What can he do here? Gives it up to Groves. He'll get it back, Edwards. Lopez guarding him. He blows right by, gets inside and lays it home. An equal season best, 31.
It's that quick, explosive first step, isn't it? He controls the ball until he's ready to go, and the minute that you slip up defensively, he's already past you.
Karen just loses it. Taylor and Gag can't connect.
Goodness me, here's the aiming replay. That quick first step you're talking about, Beck. Bam, the onside dribble, and he's right by Lopez. And he's finishing at the cup. And this is where, in my view, I say you go to the well. When you got a guy feeling like this, with this type of skill set, others will get involved as the defense overcompensates. Right now, get that man the rock and let him do his thing.
Foul on the play underneath. We saw Corin Galloway head to the back a couple of moments ago from some treatment. Ariana, how's he looking?
That's right. He was limping heavily off the court and was initially doing some exercises in the back, just trying to test how much weight he can put on that knee. But now he is out of my eyesight, and I believe in the locker room. So hopefully everything is okay there, and we'll give you an update when we can.
Thank you, Ariana. Hopefully it is all good for Corin Galloway. Of course, that FIBA window to rest up if he needs it. 2:30 remaining here in this third term. Ariana Prather courtside. Noel Peterson, Liam Santamaria and Beck Allen with you in commentary. Going to get a timeout here. You can download the free NBL app now. Scan the QR code on screen. Win a $1,000 Visa gift card. Get all the latest breaking news, live stats, Supercoach stats direct to your device, and shows like NBL Now and moments that mattered throughout the course of the week, and maybe even an updated top 15 list coming very soon as well, just quietly.
All right.
So download the NBL app for all of that and more, and you can win that $1,000 Visa gift card. Tangerine timeout, Breakers by 4, 59-55. Cairns are fighting their way back into this one. Henry Copperton, the first-year New Zealand coach. Let's listen in.
Take care of the ball. Easy things. Forward, next play. Forward side. Forward side. Go. Try to go there. So you pass to Karim. To 3 Karim. Come there. Let's go. Oh, no. It's been so fucking bad, man.
Didn't have a great deal to say there, Coach Cobb.
European flavour, a fully European coaching staff for the New Zealand Breakers. Beck, what's been your experience of European coaches in the way they generally go about it?
I mean, I think they're more emotional, I would say, typically, and very vocal, and there's a lot of hand gestures, and that's why I sometimes loved playing overseas, especially when it's a different language. I didn't know what they were saying to me, so
you can't get in
sometimes it's a good thing.
Ball back in the hands of Edwards here. Out there with McCoy, Gant, Groves and Taylor. And staying in orange, 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Rich McCarron gives Freddie Gillespie the high five. Lopez, Bairstow and Anticevic out there with that pair. New Zealand Indigenous round jersey, sporting the colours of the Pawa, the pattern along the side, the Maori word for abalone. Taylor stepping through. No good.
All right. Now, we saw it last week. Was it last week, the week before? Chris Golding, 46 points. Yep. When he got hot in that third period, 25 third quarter points, the Melbourne United found him. The guy with the ball was looking for him. Other guys were setting him picks. Ride that hot hand. The Taipans right now have a guy who's on track for 40. He's now got the rock. Play through him while you can.
Get it to Rob. Get out of the way. 2-point game.
I was going to say sometimes it involves off-ball actions, but hey, maybe I'm wrong. Just get him the ball and let him create for himself.
Well, they're going to start throwing doubles his way, and that's where he's got to be ready and willing to set others up.
He's got 11 of 15 in this quarter alone for the Taipans. 33 for the game, Rob Edwards. Bairstow cruising through, had it, lost it, put it up, couldn't get it to fall. Karim Lopez takes a tumble, arms and legs flying everywhere. Contact underneath. It's an offensive foul going against Tanner Groves.
part of that is momentum too, isn't it? As you're running to get position, the game is at a level of physicality at the moment too, so I feel he's a little unlucky there. A little.
Just over a minute remaining in this third period. 2-point game. Breakers have had the lead throughout. They have not been headed. They've led by as many as 12. They are 6-3 on the season as Gillespie gets that to go. He pushes the lead back to 4. Cairns 3-8. They have lost their past 7 games. 2 of their 3 wins have come here at home. Armstrong setting things up. No Edwards out there on the floor. So Taryn's the man for now, and he's fouled.
Well, it was an interesting one. Armstrong initiating the contact. You see Rob Edwards at the end of the bench. He came off and he was stretching. It might have been the hamstring, the calf he was stretching. Might have been getting into some of the pickle juice there. He's trying to get the taste out of his mouth right now.
Is that for cramping or what?
I suspect so.
I think it's not a sort of personal choice of beverage.
I mean, who am I to judge?
You keep some pickle juice in the cupboard for
Can't
an
say I've
afternoon.
ever done that, but hey, I've been doing it wrong.
2 more points go down for Taryn Armstrong. BJC is the meat and the can sandwich there between McCoy and Taylor. Gets back to his feet. Mooney drops it off. Gillespie for 2. Freddie with a couple more. Three-second difference shot and game clock as we wind down to 3/4 time. Snakes have not won a final term in their last 6 matches. They'll need to turn it around here. Outside is Galloway, no good. Time enough if New Zealand are good enough. Mooney can jack it. He can't find the answer. 3/4 time and we've got a close one in Cairns. 4-point ball game. It's New Zealand 63 to the Taipans 59. Four-point game, just 11 points in that quarter for New Zealand. The man that has dragged the Snakes back into it. He's been doing a bit of everything, Rob Edwards. He's got 33 at 3/4 time. Only 6 times a Cairns player in franchise history has scored 40 or more. And the man known as the Microwave is aiming to join that illustrious club. Joel Peterson, Beck Allen, Liam Santamaria, Ariana Prather with you. New Zealand lost to the bottom team last week. And they're trying to avoid the same fate. This matchup of 2nd versus 10th on the table. Jackson Cartwright for 3. Quiet by his standards, 7 points, 2 of 8 from the field tonight, PJC.
We mentioned in that third quarter the better job the Taipans were doing on the defensive glass. Ariana spoke about it at halftime. It was, they blasted them on the boards in that first half, New Zealand, but a much better concerted effort from the Snakes. And then off the hot hand of Rob Edwards, they've been able to claw their way back.
It's a hot diming hand as well.
I think that they've lifted in a lot of categories though as well, whether it be the rebounding, but it's also the way that they're trying to sort of press up the court and make it a slower start for New Zealand as well. And I think all of that takes them out of what they're really wanting.
And then get 3 ball, no good. Oh, Edwards trying to make his move. Cairns have not led in the ball game. It's been New Zealand in front throughout. McCoy now for Gack, who tosses that one a couple of rows deep.
The previous possession, Rob Edwards gets on the attack. New Zealand throw extra bodies his way. He finds his teammate open at the cup. You know, I'm harboring the point, I know. But just play through that guy. He gives it up, boomerang it back. Right now, he's a problem for New Zealand to solve. And if he doesn't have that of the rock, or he's not involved in the action, you're making it easy for him.
Yep, it's making it a whole lot harder for them to score when he doesn't have the ball in his hand. So I 100% agree with you.
It's okay to harbour a point if it's a good one, Liam.
Well, it remains to be seen.
Just get that man the ball. Jackson Cartwright surveying. No good from the elbow. Edwards with another rebound, so 53 and 5 for Rob Edwards. Can't make it 35. Lopez pushing it back the other way. He's fouled.
Jeez, aggressive. From Edwards to slow Lopez down. That was an extreme speed dribble from Rob Edwards down the floor, wasn't it?
It was, and it was an extreme sort of side tackle to stop him too, wasn't it? But hey, in the end, it was smart. He didn't get anything. It wasn't an extra foul.
Although, it was Rob Edwards' 4th personal.
We don't have 6 fouls here, do we?
No, we just got the 5, so not sure it was all that called for.
And he's staying out there. Adam Ford knows how important he is to this team in this moment. Mooney to Menenga. He hits the floor, keeps it alive, tosses it away. Game hasn't been tied since it was 0-0. Chance on this possession. Will Rob Edwards settle for a tie? Gives it up to McCoy. Wardenberg at the top of the three-point line. McCoy probes his way inside. Can't finish. It falls to Gack, who slaps it down and squares us at 63. Jackson Cartwright inside. He gets a call.
Great throwdown from AK Gack. But watch this controlled tap from Jackson McCoy. That's outstanding. Knew exactly where his teammate was, and he set him up right at the hoop.
Great vision.
Jackson Cartwright at the line. 2 of 9 this evening. 6 rebounds, 4 assists, steal in there as well. He's got 8 points.
Guys, I'm nervous about Edwards being out on the floor at the moment with the 4 fouls. Honestly, I think it's a gutsy call.
Put your coach's hat on, Beck. Would you
Well,
take
he's
him
going to
out
have
of
to
the
be
game?
disciplined, or he's going to have to be a little bit more passive in some ways defensively. And you just go, oh, what do you need? You know, but he definitely has to play smarter defensively.
And now put your player's hat back on.
Keep him on.
That's a hat we like. And pragmatism here. McCoy just barrels over Parker Jackson Cartwright. It falls to McCoy again. Antonio for three. Got it. And he's got the lead for the first time in the game.
They're on their feet in the Cairns Convention Centre. Timing their run to perfection here. The Taipans, they've got all the momentum here in the fourth.
And now it's over to the breakers. Jackson Cartwright up and down. He stays with it. Mooney puts it on the floor, fading away. Tough shot, won't go. Edwards taps it out, but only at a PJC. We know he's such a creative force.
I think he's really sort of struggling against the length of his defenders, just trying to get a shot off. And obviously he's not as tall as some of his opponents, but usually a bit more crafty.
Whip, whip. Edwards no good. Another offensive rebound for the Snakes. What a turnaround that's been since halftime. Ariana called for it, and it's proven a terrific call. 3 on the shot clock now for Edwards. Going straight at Jackson Cartwright. Offensive foul.
Oh, my.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
And Rob Edwards is gone for the night. And Adam Ford will put all the marbles on this coach's challenge.
He's not going to win it.
No, he's not.
He's not going to win it. Edwards is going to be fouled out, and that's a crying shame. You think back to that fourth foul where he bumped into Lopez in transition, was mostly unnecessary. Here you get a really good look at it, thanks to Amy, the coach's challenge. Okay, some initial contact from Jackson Cartwright, but here, the left arm extends. Does it? The left arm makes contact.
It still doesn't look good, does it? I just don't think he's going to win this one.
Geez, the initial look looked like extension.
Jackson Cartwright in close confines in the paint. You can see Rob Edwards is sweating on every frame of the replay.
I'd be surprised if that's overturned.
It's got to be enough to say it's not a foul, essentially.
I think they'll be looking at whether or not his left arm actually extends and pushes off. There's contact, sure, but they're both leaning into each other. Fascinated to hear either way Scott Butler's explanation after the fact.
So it's such a critical juncture in the game, and it is unsuccessful. Rob Edwards is fouled out with 33 of Kansas' 66 points in the game. So half their scoring's gone with a run point lead. Scott Butler is in the review centre. Scott, walk us through that.
All right, guys, as you can tell, really tight play. The defender slides laterally with Edwards as he penetrates. He doesn't actually make any illegal movement. You can see Edwards' left elbow go from his side to his shoulder. It extends and knocks down Cartwright. That's the action which is illegal. That foul will stand on Edwards.
Scott, thanks for the insight. Was the extending part the key element of the adjudication?
That's exactly right, Liam. So at that point, all of that action between both players looks pretty good. It's until the actual elbow extends, and that's the illegal contact that attracts the offensive foul.
Good on you, Scott. Thank you. Keeping Scott in the replay centre plenty busy, these coaches, this weekend, that's for sure.
Wow, big play.
Huge play. Could have massive ramifications in this game. And if Cairns can get this done from here, what a win it will be.
It's players like that, Wardenberg, that you really do need to step up into this role. There's now a little bit of a void in terms of scoring, so who's going to step up right now?
Armstrong inside to Gak.
Gak's playing well, providing a presence near the hoop. He's now the second Taipan into double figures.
They continue to get him the rock too, Beck.
I think that's just going to be a big key to their success if they want to win this game.
McCarron outside, Bairstow. Gillespie taps it off the rim. Great hustle, Freddie Gillespie. It falls to Mooney, who drops it in. So 1 point lead to the Snakes. Armstrong trying to size things up. Taylor in the corner. He can't hit. McCarron the rebound. Ariana Prey the court side. What do the Snakes need to do now without Rob Edwards?
Listen, the crowd is absolutely still in this game. It was also almost a sell-out crowd this afternoon for the Indigenous round. But if the Snakes want to pull out this win, I mean, you guys said it best. People have to start stepping up, and they have to step up now. Sam Wardenberg, Taryn Armstrong, Antonio, you guys have to make some big plays down the line. And for New Zealand, my only question is where is PJC? We need him to start taking some shots, at least take more shots.
Yeah, he's 2 of 10 from the field. It's a good call, Ariana. He's had a tough afternoon for sure. They do need his check back into the game. Obviously, they need to get some rhythm and flow and speed and pace into their plays to try and get Parker Jackson Cartwright going.
As long as he's out there, though, there's a live chance to do just about anything. Gillespie hits the floor. A side ball this time. There you see 2nd and 10th. Last time they played, New Zealand sat top of the table. They went into Tassie against the bottom, or the then bottom Jack Jumpers, and they got rolled.
AK Gak's gone out. Really good minutes from Gak. Groves comes in.
Jackson, Cartwright, Mooney, Anticevich, Gillespie and Bairstow out there for the Breakers. Mooney making moves. Bairstow, corner 3. New Zealand keeps it alive. Mooney loads up and connects. Matt Mooney for the lead back.
It's the way that they're rebounding the ball so they can get those 2nd and 3rd chance points, and that's exactly what Cairns need to limit right now, because that's going to make their task a lot harder. But kudos, honestly, to New Zealand for going after it.
2-point breaker lead. 3 minutes remaining. Antonio on the wing. No good. Breakers led for the entirety of the first 3 quarters. When they started the scoring in the game. Mooney inside, tough finish, and 1.
Couple of big buckets in big moments from Matt Mooney. The catch and shoot 3 here's on the Amy replay. You said it, Beck. The offensive rebounds, extra possessions, Mooney wide open, bang. And then here he is, probing off the dribble. Gets the step on McCoy, and 1 finish at the hoop.
Tanner Groves is gone. 5 fouls for the big lumberjack out of Spokane, Washington.
Who's next?
He's been chopped off this evening.
Well, the benefit, the positive for the Taipans is that you can just bring Gak back into the game, who has been playing at a really high level.
Matt Mooney told Ariara at halftime that he and Parker Jackson Cartwright had been a little bit quiet. They're making some noise now, those 2. Particularly Matt Mooney, a man who comes to this team with plenty of NBA experience, first season breaker, making his presence felt when it matters most. 2:30 remaining. Wardenberg putting up the 3 ball. They had rebounders aplenty, New Zealand.
And Matt Mooney was exactly the guy we sort of said at the start needed to step up for today's game. So it's really good to see him, especially after the last week's performance, really step into the role today and play with no fear in that sense.
Jackson Cartwright darting inside. Anticevich, no good. Gillespie up and in. Freddie Gillespie, while he's around, he's doing it right. And it is a 7-point New Zealand lead. 2:04 remaining. The Breakers 75 to the Snakes 68. So 2:04 left at the Tangerine timeout. And New Zealand have made their move, Liam.
Great response. Geez, questions were being asked and they were in a bit of a hole on the road, having let their lead slip, and they've come up with big plays in these last couple of minutes. Got back on the offensive glass. That's helped the cause. They've stepped up their defensive effort, got a couple of stops. Rob Edwards fouling out was a helpful part of the process, and now they've re-established a 7-point lead.
Freddie Gillespie with that future uncertain, 8 points, 7 rebounds, 4 of them at the offensive end. He's 4 of 6 from the field, and he has been a big contributor to things going right for New Zealand here. They lead by 7 with just over 2 minutes remaining. So this game there for the taking for both of these teams. At the moment, it's New Zealand who have got it by the horns. Joel Peterson, Beck Allen and Liam Santamaria with you. 2:04 remaining, 7-point New Zealand lead. Ariana Prather was listening in at that timeout.
That's right. Rob Edwards might be off the court and not in the game, but he's definitely leading his team still in that last huddle, asking them, what are we going to do? Are we going to play hard? Who are we going to be? And if I'm one of his teammates, I'm hyped and I'm ready to finish this game for him.
Taryn Armstrong trying to make an impact there. Gillespie goes crashing into the advertising stands.
In the end, that was a really bad foul from AK Gack. 94 feet from the bucket. Gillespie's got the rebound. Here you are hacking and whacking, and you're sending him to the free throw line.
The hack and the whack from AK Gack. Freddie Gillespie stands to the strike. Did you enjoy that?
I enjoyed it.
I think I was the only one that enjoyed it, Lee. Gillespie no good. Second one no good for Freddie. Code word is wrap. I don't know whether there's Hungry Jack's outlets in Milan, but there's certainly some in Queensland.
Well, Gack knew something that we didn't, and that was that burgers were on their way. Oh, Armstrong falls a little short. 1 of 8 from the field now for Armstrong. He's got 7 assists. He's been active. But after that early 3-point hit, the scoring punch hasn't quite been there. They need someone right now to put some points on the board.
They spent most of the first half shooting at 50% from that part of the field. They're now 8 of 30, the Snakes. Minute and change remaining. 7-point breaker lead. Looking to get to 7-3 on the season to get to the FIBA break. In the NBL's top 2. Jackson Cartwright nestles that one home. And it is a 12-0 run for New Zealand. Wardenberg putting it on the floor. Last touch by the Breakers.
Is that a funky old night, Sam Wardenberg? Hasn't he? Here's Jackson Cartwright, beautifully described. Joel, he did nestle that one in. Just the soft touch. Just thanks to the basketball gods up above. He's now in double figures.
Shout out to my man Clint Wheeldon for the assist on the verbiage there. 77-68. Breakers over the Snakes. Joel Peterson, Beck Allen, Liam Santamaria and Ariana Prather with you. Illawarra Sydney is coming up next. Joe Healy, Derek Rucker, Brad Rosen, Matt Russell, your call team. Marquee matchup, full pre-game and the game call of 2 of the high-flying teams in the competition in the Freeway Series.
It's going to be a cracking game. Got a single-digit margin here late in the game, but oh boy, looking forward to Sydney and Illawarra this afternoon.
2 more to come tomorrow. Melbourne and Adelaide from 2:30 Eastern Daylight Time. Brisbane and Perth. The late game tomorrow. And Cairns cough a chance up on the offensive end on that possession. Jackson Cartwright and the Breakers trying to close this thing out. Almost the takeaway for McCoy. Gillespie's a long way from home. And they do give it up in the end.
Oh, that's heavy. That's unsportsmanlike.
Yep. No hesitation from Ken Widgeon.
So they ate clock, they ate shot clock back, which is what they were after, but then the turnover the unsportsmanlike foul, so 2 in possession for Wardenberg and the Snakes.
I mean, it's been a pretty messy final minute of basketball, hasn't it? With the turnovers, crude fouls like this. You really want to, when you know that it's getting down to the crunch line, look after the ball and get yourself a good shot, especially being Cairns and being down.
Sam Wardenberg at the stripe. So far, hasn't taken a free throw today. He's 32 of 43 on the season.
Unsportsmanlike, white 33, 2 shots. Okay, 2 shots.
So it stays an unsportsmanlike call. Wardenberg's got a couple at the stripe. 9-point game as it stands. 9-point game still. Possession off the free throw for the Taipans. Second one rattles home.
They need a quick bucket here. The Taipans, a 3-ball would be very helpful. Maybe some action for Jonah Antonio. It's a long way back from this situation with this amount of time on the clock. Got to get something quick.
Armstrong, Antonio, McCoy, Gank, Wardenberg, the 5 throughout and forward. Armstrong senses the urgency, steps back, long way off it. Sam Wardenberg introduces himself to one of our terrific camera people underneath the basket. Here we go. Hello, Sam. So Breakers by 8. They were in control for the first 3 quarters. The Snakes surged at them. 11.9 seconds left. They may not have had their best, but the New Zealand Breakers have got enough on this occasion. Mooney can't hit. New Zealand moved to 7-3, and at least for now, put themselves back to the top of the NBL standings. And who would have predicted that going into the FIBA break? The future of that man is uncertain, but he gave them everything he had while he was here, Freddie Gillespie. And he plays a big role in a New Zealand win on the road that has them sitting 7-3.
Good win for the Breakers. They're second on the ladder, and oh man, a 7-3 record at this point going into the break is very healthy. They'd be super pleased, especially on a night when Parker Jackson Cartwright just could not get going, and when they were asked serious questions in that 4th quarter. They lost the lead back. They came up with the big plays when it mattered most.
They did, and then it's also them having that bounce-back game against Tasmania and how they played last week. It says a lot about the character of the group, and you also saw a really big game from Matthew Mooney. For him to have 15 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, he really stepped up, but I'm also loving to see that camaraderie of his teammates there for Gillespie.
Yeah, absolutely. He's our Foot Locker player of the game, Matt Mooney, and he came up big when it mattered most.
Yeah, not a huge line, but 15 points was the team high. It wasn't at a great percentage, but you're right. 4th quarter plays like this 3-point hit that got him back in the lead, and then creating on this possession off the bounce. So big plays in big moments, and it was enough to get him over the line.
8 losses in a row now for the Cairns Taipans, who were 3-9 on the season. The fouling out of Rob Edwards was such a critical time, was a big miss. New Zealand get it done by 8. We'll wrap it all up next.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
Well, it's been the story of the week for New Zealand. Whatever the future holds for Freddie Gillespie, he played a big role in a win tonight, and you can see what it means to he and his teammates in the huddle after the game. 77-69, the Breakers get it done, and they move back to the top of the NBL standings, at least for now. They held Cairns to an 8th straight loss for the Snakes. There is our full game match stats. Liam, different picture in terms of those shooting stats down the stretch.
Yeah, no, they were not as on fire in that second half. The rebounding advantage to the Breakers, I think, was a key stat throughout the game, and they regained that ascendancy late.
And that man, Beck, Rob Edwards, 33 points. He fouled out late, but he did everything he could for the Snakes tonight.
He really did do a little bit of everything, didn't he, offensively? And I just think that they needed to keep finding him and getting the ball, because when he touched it, good things came from it. Everyone was sort of finding their rhythm within the offense, but I mean, getting that 5th foul that early on in the 4th quarter, that was obviously detrimental to them. So I question, did he need to come out of the game that little bit earlier just to save him for the final minutes of that game?
He was straight up on fire.
Yeah.
He was absolutely in fuego, 33 points at 3/4 time. Here's the Blackmore shot chart. He ends on 33. Man, that's probably tells the tale of the tape. So you see he was 13 for 23 from the field, 4 of 11 from three-point territory. The 4th foul where he cleaned up Karim Lopez, that was a mistake, and they missed him down the stretch.
Yeah, the 5th foul was borderline. There was the 4th one probably that was very critical indeed. Beck, great to have you part of our team. It's been a lot of fun. Great to welcome Beck Allen into our call team. Liam Santamaria, Ariana Praver here as well. All of our team behind the scenes. Coming up next, Illawarra and Sydney, a marquee matchup. The Saturday switch and the full game call is coming up next.